time for Cutting Edge Consciousness with Freeman Michaels and Barnet Bain. Thought-provoking discussions and bold ideas from the edge of possibility.
Hey, good moment. This is Barnet Bain, and welcome to Cutting Edge Consciousness. This is Cutting Edge Consciousness, and thank you, Sandi, for being with us today, sitting in for Freeman Michaels. How are you?
I'm good. I'm actually really good.
You are good. I know that.
Yeah, I'm great.
I can vouch for your goodness.
I am.
I can vouch for your goodness. So before we proceed, before we go even one bit further, I want to ask you a question, listeners. Do you have a book inside you that's waiting to come out? I've just written one of my own that's coming out in July. I'm very excited to say. So I know what a huge job it is to get it written and then to get it cleaned up and then to get it published. But I'm here to tell you that our dear friend Randy Davila, who is the president and CEO of Hampton Roads Publishing, our fine sponsor of Cutting Edge Consciousness. Randy has published authors like Don Miguel Ruiz, the Dalai Lama, Neil Donald Walsh, Byron Katie, and many others. And now, if you have always dreamed of getting published and becoming a successful author yourself, this is a big opportunity you can learn about right here on Cutting Edge Consciousness. Go to www.getpublishedclass.com. Get there and get on board. You'll know everything you need to know. And now, without any further ado, it's Cutting Edge Consciousness for me and for you.
Wow, you made a poem.
Because I'm a published author.
I hope your book is better than that.
It is better than that. It is. I'm excited with it. So, not long ago, you and I were out to dinner with my friend Anthony, and we had talked about the changes that I've made in my life, and you've been so supportive, San, with these changes. So it became changes we made in our life because I really needed to make some changes, and Sandy didn't want me to do it alone. So I changed my diet, and I'm eating healthy, and that's been
drastically changed.
Drastically. So it's been maybe 6 months now, 5-6 months now, that no sugar and no.
So can I tell the truth?
Yeah, what's the truth?
So Barnett used to be the keeper of the Happy Meal. You know, when you go to McDonald's and you have the Happy Meal, and
I ate like a child.
He ate like a 2-year-old.
But occasionally,
and you've grown up.
Yes, that's not true. I ate like a 6-year-old, but occasionally I would eat like an adolescent, and I'd have pizza.
Yeah.
So I either ate like an infant or I ate like a teenager.
Yeah, and I have to say, it's so interesting because since you've changed your eating habits and matured your eating habits, I see that you have matured in other areas of your life as well. So it's kind of interesting, like you do one thing and everything changes.
Yeah, well, that's how it works. The first 60 years, you go for the Happy Meal, and then everything changes in an instant.
Yeah.
Now I'm having...
now you're the Jolly Green Giant.
I have green juices. But the other piece was that we began to talk about now the need to add an exercise regime and begin to pay some more attention to my body. See, even when I contemplate that, I veer out.
This is again the truth.
Yeah, what's the truth?
So you moved from the Happy Meal to the healthy meal.
Yeah.
But because you're not a big fan of healthy food, you don't eat a lot of food.
Yeah.
So your body, although your body has become very slim and trim, you kind of have no muscle matter.
I sort of look like a 60s British.
Yeah, you look a little like
star.
a little Mick Jagger-y.
Yeah, they get get a stringy and emaciated. It's only cool if you're also stringy and emaciated.
Well, no, it's cool when your clothes are on. That's when it's cool. It's not so cool when your clothes come off.
Good, truth be
So we
told.
were talking with Anthony.
That's very supportive, by the way. I'm going to remember that.
You look fabulous in your clothes.
That's good. Tonight, I'm sleeping in my clothes with you tonight.
No.
I'm going to sleep with you dressed.
No, but the point is that great diet, lots of loss of weight, not really eating too much food because you have a limited palate palate for healthy food, and you're really not exercising, and you used to surf all the time and be
But now that I've lost so much weight, the water's too cold. It's true.
Okay, so we need help.
We need help. But wait, there's good news. There's really good news, because we were out dining with our guest today.
Eating very healthy.
I'm speaking about our guest. He's my really good friend, but I'm speaking about him in the third person. Our guest. So, our guest spent 20 years as a firefighter for the city of Cleveland. Did you know that, Sam?
Well, you can tell by looking at him.
He looks like he's
he looks like the calendar.
He looks like
he looks like Mr. October to me.
Mr. October. He wasn't really Mr. October. He was actually all 12 months.
That's more accurate.
That was before he came to the City of Angels. He's the creator of the non-negotiable 90-day health transformation program, better known as NN90. This is really, really unique, people. This is really quite an extraordinary program. And I thought it would be fantastic to learn a lot on everybody else's time. So if I have to learn about this, you guys who are driving or sitting at your desks or listening to this down the road as a podcast, if I'm learning, you're learning.
But who's doing? That's what I want to know, Barnett.
What do you mean, who's doing?
Okay, we'll see.
We're going to see.
I have
who's
faith
doing
in
it.
Anthony.
So I just want to thank you and welcome you, Anthony Elfonzia, for coming to join us this morning on Cutting Edge Consciousness.
Good morning, Barnett. Good morning, Sandi.
Hi. Oh, my God. I'm pumped up just hearing your voice, Anthony. Jeez.
Yeah, get a grip, Sid.
I'm getting the barbells. I'm getting the barbells.
I am so glad to call you both my friends and be on your show.
Yeah, it's great to have you on. It's so great to have you on. So, listen, Anthony, what stands between me and looking like I don't need to be Mr. October. I could do 2 weeks in July would be fine for me. So,
Barnett, first of all, there's nothing wrong with having a body like Mick Jagger.
That's true.
I see. That's why I love you.
Body
this is the reason we're such good friends.
it has lasted him 70-plus years, so there must be something good about that.
Yeah.
But what you want, is to have a certain look in your mind. You have a certain look in your mind that you want to go from where you are to that look.
Yeah. 40.
So how do you get there? You make the first step. You take the first step. You be bold. You be brave, and you say where you are.
Yep.
Okay.
And then plot out the course to where you want to be.
Okay.
That's number one.
Okay. So I've covered number one. Check.
Where you are is thin and lean and lacking some muscle matter.
Losing muscle mass.
Yes.
With
So
every happy meal that I miss, I lose muscle mass.
So just to let you know that you are on the opposite end of the spectrum of the majority of people who come into a transformational program or who come into NN90.
Okay.
The majority of people who come into a program are coming into a program to shed weight.
Yes, to release weight, yeah.
To release weight.
Yeah.
So the mindset that you have around your look and how you eat is on the opposite end of the spectrum. So where you start is where you look. And you look in the mirror. And you start to, in your mind, formulate what you want to look like.
Okay.
Because when you look in the mirror, you start to project. And you project your consciousness that's inside into on the outside.
Yeah. Well, Sandy and I both agree that I want to look like you.
No, but I think that's a really good point. You have to start with a realistic picture of where you want to go and get excited about that picture, right, Anthony?
That's exactly it. So for a lot of people, what they do is they'll cut out pictures of, I want to look like her, or I want to look like him, or I want to have this body. And from that point, you plot course on where you want to go. And plotting that course is, if you want to gain, in your case, if you want to gain 15 pounds, you want to gain 10 pounds, or you just want to stay lean, you want to keep your body and stay lean. Setting a reachable goal is number one. Okay? So after you set your reachable goal, number two,
Yeah.
You make your calendar your best friend.
So let me just play a little catch up. So for me, I set a reachable goal. In my case, I want to put on a little weight.
Yes.
For some of our listeners, they may their goal may be to release 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 15 pounds, whatever. Right?
Exactly. So a reachable goal is, let's say one of our listeners wants to lose 75 pounds.
Yeah.
Well, saying I want to lose 75 pounds in 2 months is not a reachable goal. Yeah. And saying I want to gain 20 pounds and look like Arnold Schwarzenegger in 3 months is not a reachable goal. Mm-hmm. So a reachable goal for someone who's trying to release weight would be, I need to give away. I like to say give away. I don't like to say lose, because we're not trying to lose something and get it back.
Yeah.
I like to say it's a weight giveaway or a weight gain. So for those who are trying to give away weight and they find themselves 30 plus pounds overweight, find a reachable goal. First reachable goal is the first 5 to 10 pounds.
That's great. Little bites, little chunks.
Little bites.
Chunk it.
Little bites. It's such a psychological boost to say, I want to reach this goal by this date and reach that goal. Congratulate yourself. Because there's so many people who get into a program who don't congratulate themselves, because they look at the whole thing like, oh, I need to lose 50 pounds. I only lost 5, or I only lost 10, and miss out all the wonderful feeling that you can put into your workout just by saying, I set this goal, I reached this goal, and now I can go on to my next goal.
I love that. I love that, Anthony, because I think it's so true. People always say, oh, I have to lose 20 pounds. And then they lose 5 and they don't let it matter or count because they've got their eye on the 20. But I know for myself, if I have a few pounds to lose or give away, and I give away 1 or 2 and I feel a little looser in my jeans, it actually encourages me, if I can acknowledge that, go, wow, it's actually working. I can do this. It encourages me, and I actually have an easier time staying away from the foods that are kind of addictive to me but that aren't good for me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There are so many times that we go through our daily life, not just even working out or not even just changing our dietary habits, but we go through our daily life and we set goals that we congratulate other people, but we don't take the time to congratulate yourself. Mm-hmm. You don't take time to take in that, oh, wow, I lost a dress size, or I can fit my jeans better. Mm-hmm. Just those little bits of breathing in and saying great affirmations for yourself.
Well, this is one of the beautiful things about NN90 is that the program, this is what I love about it, is that the program supports you with affirmations. It coaches you every step along the way, not only with the physical side of things, but the emotional and mental side, the spiritual side of things as well. It's you coach people through with affirmations, so you guide them towards that self-esteeming, self-regarding, self-respecting around giving away weight or putting on weight.
Barnet and Sandi, exactly what we do.
Yeah.
That's the part where it starts. The NN90 is a mind, body, and spirit transformation. So when you're dealing with mind, body, and spirit, in your mind, when you're trying to lose weight or gain weight, or whatever program you have to push past the limitations that you have lived with.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You have positive and negative chatter. Now, the positive chatter may be, well, I like the way I look and I just wanted to move on a little bit. But the most of us have negative chatter. We have negative chatter about how we feel, how we look, what other people think about us, and the limitations that we set upon ourselves. So that's the mind part. Now, the body part, we always hear about. We always hear about the exercise and the healthy foods. But the two things that are not talked about as much are how to reduce stress, how to handle stress, and how important rest is. Resting your body, getting a good night's sleep, taking the proper nutrients to support your rest. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the third component to any type of transformational program is the spirit. And it feels so good that I'm able to share this with you on this program, especially because that's the theme of the program.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a transformational audience, and what I love about NN90 is that it is such a new idea. It's an idea that emerges out of a whole new paradigm of thought, of new thought. It is a transformational weight shift program.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And the last part about the spiritual part, finding the will to do what's necessary when times are not easy.
Yep. Well, hang on one second. We're going to put a pin in times are not easy. We're going to take
rest.
We're going to rest. Everybody sit down, breathe deeply, rest. We're going to step away, hear from some of our wonderful sponsors. We love our sponsors. We're going to be right back after these messages from our friends.
Welcome back to Cutting Edge Consciousness, thought-provoking discussions and bold ideas from the edge of possibility.
Welcome back. This is Sandy Stewart here with Barnet Bain, and we're having a wonderful, invigorated conversation with our guest, Anthony. And Anthony, we were just talking about...
Coach Anthony.
Jeez,
you have no respect, Sam.
Oh, excuse me. I have respect.
I get that. Nobody ever calls me coach around the house.
But you were talking about spirit as being so important as a piece of one big part of the whole when we're looking at mind, body, and spirit to transform our lives. So please jump back in with the spirit part of the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. In a healthy transformational program, whether it's weight giveaway or a body transformation, dealing with the three components of mind, body, and spirit, the spirit itself is the place where we have to go to find the will. We have to find the will to do what's necessary when times are not easy.
Because by ourselves we can do nothing.
But without that, we can do nothing.
That's right. Yeah.
So it's just, let's say, think every January when you say, I give my time and I want to lose weight, and you set your affirmations for the year, and then by January 15th, by February 1st, by March 1st, it's gone.
Yeah.
You're eating the Happy Meal.
Because we've allowed other things, we've allowed life, we've allowed our responsibilities to take away the will that we had at the beginning. So finding the way to press through is the constant press. But there are steps that we can do to encourage the spirit, to work the body, and to transform the mind.
And we are led through the spiritual component of addressing weight giveaway or weight gain in the NN90 program. So say a little bit about, give us our listeners a little, let's throw out three big ideas that have to do with the body, mind, spirit component of NN90.
Or the success of it.
Yeah. The success of it, three things. The first three, you got to take the first step.
Yeah. I'm in on that one.
You got to take that first step. You got to say, this is what I want to do. You have to get up off the couch. You have to get up off the bed. You have to get up out of your office chair and say, this is what I have to do. You take the first step. The second step is to be bold. And to be bold is not to be bold out to the world. You have to be bold for yourself first. And then that energy transfers to the world by saying, this is where my past has led me. This is where I want to go. This is what I want to do. I know my limitations, but I'm not going to be defined by my limitations.
So who I want to become, who I decide to become right now on the inside will show up, as you're saying, on the outside.
As above, so below, or inside, outside.
Beautiful.
It's the exact same.
Yep.
Press that energy. And the third thing is to be brave. Now, that might be easy to say, to be brave. But to be brave is to step out when things are not perfect. You have to work within the imperfection. The imperfection is, I may not have enough time. I may not have enough money. I may not have this. And all those things that you say to yourself, you have to work past that. So being brave is stepping out into a world or a condition that you've never done before. You've never done a workout program before. You've never tried to lose weight before. So you're stepping out into a place that you've never done. And when you step out to a place like that, it can be very scary.
But Anthony, what I love about the program when we were talking is that the once you make the choice, if you go online, they get you live every day. So you're actually doing the program with them, giving them the exercises, giving them the encouragement, giving them the affirmations, and really coaching them on a daily basis virtually, which is great. It's like having a trainer, and even people that can't afford to join a gym can afford to have you to train them on a daily basis and give them that encouragement and remind them how brave they are. Can you talk a little bit about how you do that? Because I was so inspired when you told me.
Well, I'll tell you how it started. And this came about, the energy of putting together this program came because I was working with Lisa Nichols.
I love Lisa Nichols.
Me too.
Yeah.
Lisa Nichols is my girlfriend. I am crazy wild about Lisa Nichols.
Well, you can imagine how busy her life is being a motivational speaker.
You say hello to her
world.
when you work out with her next.
She travels over 200 days out of the year. So she came to me and asked me, could I put together a program that she could do while she was on the road, and it would take up a little bit of time but be very intense.
So Lisa wanted to give away some weight?
She wanted to give away some weight, and she's well on her way to doing that.
Great.
Well on her way to doing that.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Keep going.
So having a program that you can actually receive daily, because you needed to receive it every day.
Right.
So you receive it in your email every single day. And as of next month, it won't be in the email form. It'll be in a membership site where you can get all of the information in one place. That way you don't have to search for your emails every single day. But for right now, you can get it every single day. You get a video, affirmation, meal plan, nutritional guide, and a private accountability group, which is the key.
Like a support group, huh?
So let me just thread back here. So wherever Lisa is, for example, wherever she is in the world, she checks in her email, and there is affirmations, her workout plan for the day, her meal plan, her nutrition plan, some spiritual support, and she has access to a support group.
That's right.
That's fantastic.
It's being accountable.
I'm going to cop to something. I saw her very recently, and she does look amazing. She looks like she dropped, I don't know anything about dress sizes, but she's got a totally different wardrobe. She looks amazing. So you're doing something.
She's done the work.
Yeah, I'm trying to put on that weight. So
that's great.
That is so fantastic. Now, for our listeners want to know, the exercises, the exercise plan itself. Does this involve going out and building a gym, or what does that involve in terms of the home workout?
And how long do I have to spend working out? Because I'm not quite as busy as Lisa, but getting there.
That's right. Well, how this program works, when you get the email, the exercise themselves are between 8 and 15 minutes long. That's it.
Wow.
They're very intense.
I can do that.
And you're doing them? I'm watching you doing them? Am I doing them along with you?
You're watching. We're doing these together. I videotaped all of these, and you're doing these right along with me.
Well, that makes me smile.
I give you exercises.
So we're going to do them. Sandy's going to be watching you. She's going to be watching you, and I'm going to be behind her watching Sandy. I think
we'll all be happy.
It's all going to work out good.
We're all one big happy family.
Yeah.
That's great.
So it's a quick, I won't say easy, because they're not easy. They're very challenging. There's no weights you need. You don't need to go to a gym. You can do this in your office. You can do this at home in your bedroom when you first get up. You can have it on your cell phone. Click on your email, and you can be out in the park and do these exercises out in the park. It's designed to take it wherever you are, where you go.
Once a day or twice a day?
How many ever times you want to do that? It's for the busy professional, so it's usually once a day, and there's minimum daily movements that you can do along with this every day. The key is to get your body in motion.
Yeah.
While we coach you on your meal and your meal prep and your meal planning and your nutritional guides, which sounds like, Barnett, you have that all together. This is an added tool to your transformational toolbox.
So, Anthony, I have a question. If I'm doing the exercises and I'm a certain age and I'm in a certain I'm in a certain kind of shape, and someone else is doing the exercises and they may need to shed 50 pounds and I actually don't need to shed anything this month, I just want to be healthy, are those exercises going to apply to both of us?
These exercises are body movement exercises.
Okay.
There's people in the NN90 program who want to just shape and tone, and up to I have a beautiful couple who is in the program together, that they are both severely overweight. One's the husband, for the first time, is under 400 pounds in the last 15 years.
Wow.
And within 60 days, the wife has lost 30 pounds.
Wow.
On the NN90 program.
Wow, my hat's off to them. That's really
And
something.
they're doing it together. It's such a wonderful thing to see how they can support each other doing this.
Fabulous.
So it applies to both. It's your own body weight. So if it's a push-up, if it's a sit-up, if it's a lunge, if it's a yoga move or pose, you're using your own body weight. No other equipment necessary.
Okay.
Wow.
So you said take the first step, then be bold, then be brave. Any other
what's a couple more?
Yes. You gotta be accountable.
Accountable.
That's why it's so valuable to have that accountability group, isn't it? That's
right.
Secret sauce there.
This is the key to whether you're going to fail or succeed. If you're not accountable to yourself first, and then accountable to what you say. Because you can say it to yourself and not do it, no one knows.
Right.
Or you say it out loud. And when you say it out loud to someone else, then they are now your accountability partner and help you stay accountable to what you said. Because most people say, I'll do it tomorrow, and tomorrow comes, and tomorrow's now today. So with the NN90 program, there's a private accountability group that you share your journey, you share what it is you say your goals are, and you're held accountable. You're held accountable by me, Coach Anthony, in a very loving, supportive way, but you're also held accountable by your NN90 support group. Fabulous.
Great. And I'm sure that people might even end up like finding a buddy in that support group, and one person that they really connect with and that they can actually hold hands through the whole process. Has that happened as well?
There are lifelong friendships that have been made within the first 90 days.
Wow.
That's great. Sandy,
and sharing success with people, that's such an uplifting, wonderful experience. You know, we usually go to groups to share our less than parts and get support. But
what's breaking down.
But to share our beauty and our success and our bravery and our commitment and our boldness, that's very inspiring.
Just think about it. Most people normally go to a gym or go to a boot camp. You go have the experience, and then you leave.
Right.
You don't talk to the coach. You don't talk to the trainer. You talk to the trainer while you're there.
Right.
But you don't have access every day to keep you going. And that's another key of moving forward. You always have to strive to keep moving forward.
So now it's called NN90. We're going to get to the NN in 1 second, the non-negotiable part. But the 90-day, the 90 piece, how is it that you decided that you I know from all of the science that's behind this, that you determined that 90 days is the critical time window to establish a brand new routine and lay in new neuronal patterns in the brain and physiology, patterns of physiology. So I'm assuming that this is the launch pad for a way of being that people will sustain going forward after the 90 days. Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct. Absolutely strict. It takes 4 weeks for your body to make a physiological transformation. It takes 6 weeks for the world to see it. And then it takes about 8 to 12 weeks for everybody else to see your transformation. But that's just the beginning, and to press you into once you transform, you don't want to flip back. You want to keep going. So we do have another thing that we can talk about, the Day of Health Transformation that's coming up to teach you how to keep this going.
I'm going to be there, folks.
Yeah. Tell us about it, Anthony.
Okay, so this is perfect timing. Here in the Southern California area, we're having a Day of Health Transformation. That's April 11th, 2015 in Malibu.
Oh,
and
great.
It's a full day of mantras, meditation, movements, exercise, self-development, and you get a meal plan at the end. It's a full day of activity on
that sounds...
April the 11th.
And how much does that cost for the day?
It's a value of $375, but we got it down to $175. It's $175 for the whole day.
Wow.
But here's something that I would like to do for the listeners, and for the listeners only. If you join up for our Day of Health Transformation, I personally will gift you the NN90 program.
Wow. That's fabulous.
See, it pays to listen to Cutting Edge Consciousness. I want you to know, Sandi, Spence, just in front of you, witnessing right now, I'm going to be at that boot camp day. We'll see how I fare at the end of the day. But I am going to be there. So this is exciting. For more information about the boot camp, about NN90, about Coach Anthony, you can refer to our website on Cutting Edge Consciousness, or you could go straight to Anthony, fill in the blank.
Yes, you can go to www.optimumrt.com. That's OPTIMUMRT.com. That's for the Day of Health Transformation.
That's great.
And that's right. And then from there, you can also see information about our NN90 program.
And so when they contact you, they just say that they're a Cutting Edge Consciousness listener to get that special NN90 program with their day?
If they want to contact me to get that program, you can email me at nn90.optimumrt.com. That's nn90.optimumrt.com, and talk about the program, today's radio show, and you'll get the gift once you sign up for the Day of Health Transformation.
Okay, so listen, you talked about accountability. A lot of people have just heard, Barnett, that you're going to this thing, and because you're a Cutting Edge Consciousness listener and speaker, you're going to get the NN90 program, and I just want to know, here and now, are you going to be doing it with Coach Anthony on a daily basis?
I am going to be Mr. February.
And I will be so happy.
By February.
Wait,
yeah.
When's that? Oh, okay. Well, March, April, May, June. No, you can be Mr. August.
You want me to be February? You want me to be Christmas in July?
No, you could be Christmas in July.
I'm going to see what I can do for you. Yeah. I'm ready and committed.
Great.
Okay, I heard you. I'm going to be the first one, Coach Anthony, talking to you, Barnett. It's going to make you accountable, because I'm going to put you in the program today. So tomorrow you get your first email.
I am there. I am there.
Starting tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Wow. Okay.
Take a breath. Get a good night's sleep tonight.
Yeah. I am excited. I am grateful that you joined us today on the program. I'm looking forward to my tomorrow, and I will let you know and listeners know how I'm faring on that. I'm looking forward to the boot camp and
the day at the beach.
So we are going to step away and say goodbye to Anthony. We'll be back after these messages. Sandi and I will be here to wrap things up. Anthony, so glad to have you. Thank you so much. And if you see Lisa, give her a hug from me.
Oh, absolutely. Just want to tell everybody that you can have laughter and levity while you're lifting and lunging.
Oh, I like that.
Levity, lifting and lunging. That's fantastic.
Okay.
Thanks, Anthony. We will be right back with more on Cutting Edge Consciousness. Stay with us.
Welcome back to Cutting Edge Consciousness, thought-provoking discussions and bold ideas from the edge of possibility.
We're back. That was great. It's great to hear from Coach Anthony. He is a rock star, and I am going to be a rock star too. I already look like an emaciated, like old meth addict type rock star, stringy kind of. But I'm
Come
going
on,
to be.
that was yesterday.
That was yesterday.
Tomorrow,
today I have a whole
the email
new
comes.
NN90 self-image, and I am going to rock it out, and I'll report back. And of course, I don't need to report to you because you're going to see. But I'm committed. So a funny thing happens when I made that commitment.
Right.
I stepped into that commitment, but I can't say that I went racing, arms open, running toward that commitment.
In slow motion.
I slow-mo toward that commitment. Yeah, the first thing that happens is there's sort of like a script I follow, a kind of character style that I follow. It's predictable. So the first thing that happens to me is, hell no. And it's just automatic. It happens around exercise. It happens actually around a lot of things.
Yeah, I would say.
You would say.
Because it's a style. It's a character style. It's a style you picked up early on as a way to have your own power and volition, probably as a very young boy who felt kind of powerless. Think of a 2-year-old. One of the first words they learn is no.
No. No,
when
it's
they
a way
say
to define
no,
yourself in relationship to the world, and as you say,
it's a
most
protection.
often it's a protection, and it is the only place that a young child can feel that he or she has any power at all. Is by saying no. But we don't abandon these. They become ingrained and habituated, and they become conditioned responses.
Right,
and they show up elsewhere in life, and certainly. They show up for me around things that would be good for me. I still process them through the shoulda, wouldas, and the part of me that puts my hand on my hip and says, "You can't tell me what to do." And it's just an automatic no, even though it would be helpful for me.
Yeah, it's such an automatic defense against losing yourself or feeling like you're losing your power. And even in our relationship, when I know that if you make a suggestion, you have most of the time my best interest at heart, and vice versa. Yet both of us often respond to the other with an automatic character style of, no, you can't tell me what to do. Even if, I might be doing something one way and you have a suggestion of how I could do it another way. And if I really stayed open and listened to you, your suggestion could actually be making my life in the moment easier. But because I'm frustrated, the way I deal with that frustration is you make a suggestion and I say, no, I'm doing it this way.
Yeah.
And it's just really old style.
It's old. And it's
unconscious until you can become conscious of it. And
that applies also to people who have weight issues, whether it's being underweight, not eating the best possible menu to sustain you, or people who overeat or have weight release issues. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes that also is a symptom of the automatic no, a place where people learn early that they can have some power in their life by eating.
It also is a symptom of treating yourself like an object.
Yeah. That's a delicate one. I know even when I hear that, I know the many places that I treat myself as an object, either sometimes in the past by overeating or binge eating
or by
not eating or eating junky foods or treating myself, with workaholism and all kinds of behaviors but it still sounds treating myself like an object. It just sounds it's poignant because it just sounds so painful, and it sounds so It triggers I realize it triggers my own self-judgments. It's not the judgments of others. It triggers my own self-judgments.
Well, treating yourself like an object is so, when you really just let yourself feel it like you did in that moment, which was beautiful, I must say.
Do I still have to sleep with my clothes on tonight?
No. Okay. It's poignant because you get to the root of how self-abandoning it is. When you treat yourself like an object, you're not even a person with needs to yourself. Mm-hmm. You're so separate from what you really need. Mm-hmm. And, often when little kids, you never go into a room and you hear parents talk about their kid as if they're not in the room?
Yeah, I have a friend who talks about his little boy, and he calls him the boy, and he thinks that there's something glamorous, like like a fiction, or like the little print, the boy, and it always creeps me out because the boy has a name and he's standing right there.
And the boy is an object, so that boy may grow up to feel like his wants and needs don't really matter because he's actually not a person. He's an object. And many of us, when we overeat unconsciously, or we don't eat when our body really needs nourishment, we're self-abandoned that part of us that's really human, and it is sad.
Yeah, it's sad.
It is sad.
And then 90, fortunately, we have Coach Anthony, who understands these issues and responds to these issues and supports us through these issues. So it's a very, very powerful program, and I'm now going to...
Yeah, and you're now a member.
I'm now going to... Yeah, well, let's...
I can't even. This rendered you speechless, which not very many things do.
It rendered me like the other piece of character style that I resort to is I split off. I just numb out. It's like I don't even know how to explain it. I'm having a conversation. I make a commitment. I'm going to work with Coach Anthony. I'm going to allow him to support me and guide me through my resistances and my automatic no's and through my fixed ideas and through all these behavioral things, and let him affirm me and guide me. And as he's speaking, even on the radio, I'm split off. I go numb. I don't hear anything. Well, it's like I completely leave the room. I get lost in a thought bubble.
Right.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Of course, because again,
Spence, you know what I'm talking about?
Spence left.
Spence, you ever get lost in a thought bubble, or are you here right now? You are, right? Yeah. Exactly. He's pretending to be here.
But think of a little baby again. If a little baby is in a room and their parents are screaming at each other, and that's a lot of energy for a little baby to be in the midst of without understanding what's going on. The baby can't get up and walk away. The baby can't say, hey, you guys, stop it. This isn't cool. The only thing you can do is emotionally take your attention away and split off from yourself so you're actually not even in your body. And that becomes a style of coping.
And that leads to treating yourself as an object because you're not in the
But you're not even in your body.
You just feed your body or you starve your body.
And I actually never used to think I did that. I thought, oh no, I don't do that. I'm in my body. And then I realized sometimes I'm in a conversation with somebody and all of a sudden they stop talking and it's clear that it's now the appropriate time for me to respond to what they just said. And I didn't hear the last sentence. I don't know what they just said. Or sometimes I'm talking to somebody else and I'm talking about something that's really important to me and I can get this feeling in my body. I know they're looking at me, but they haven't heard a word I said. Like I could stop in the middle of a sentence and they'd still be shaking their head going, because they also have split off. Mm-hmm. And, again, bringing it back to exercise, it's actually not healthy to exercise if you're not in your body because you can hurt yourself. Yeah. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's really dangerous.
I'm going to cop to something talking to that very, very point. Yesterday afternoon, I'm in a conversation with somebody, and she says to me, she asks me a question, and I split off. I just went into another reality. I literally went into another reality. So
was the question triggering at all, do you think?
I don't know what happened. I just completely split off. And instead of, I don't even know exactly what the question was. It was something like, how do you know when you came to the end of something? And I completely split off and I said to her, I was like in a dream, like in another, like I switched the channels on my television. I responded to her by saying, page 35. And then I snapped back to where
Your
we
answer
were.
Was
My answer was page 35.
Where'd that come from?
It came from where I split off to. Was I was in some sort of work. I went back to my work, and there was an issue that I was dealing with on page 35 of a script, and that page marked the end of a particular sequence, like the first act of the whole movie. And so when I heard this question about how you know when you come to the end, I split off, and I had this whole other it happens in an instant. It's like an instant. He said to her, page 35. She said, what? And then
you came back? Did you like?
I couldn't explain it. I didn't regroup. I still don't know exactly what she asked me. I just left. I didn't hear the question, and I went into my own world. And this probably sounds psychotic to a lot of our listeners, but I remember doing that as a boy, mm-hmm. And I can remember doing that certainly in college, where I would just split away. I would just go away.
You know, a really good sign of that. I actually remember very, very little about my childhood. You know, some people remember all their teachers' names and all their best friends' names. I don't remember any friends. I don't even remember the name of some of the schools I went to. I have very, very limited memory, and that's really because I wasn't there. I was like play acting.
You were also a rebel.
Yes.
I'm going to share with our audience. So Sandy is like 2 weeks away from graduating university. And she drops out and goes to Europe 2 weeks away before graduation.
Well, I was a hippie.
You were a hippie. Your parents must have loved that.
It was the time.
Well, speaking of the time that we have together.
But let me just say, I went back to school.
You did come
in
back.
My own defense.
You went back to school years later and supra achieved.
That's right. Okay.
That's now
I'm good.
Sure.
Go ahead.
But the 40 years in between
was a different kind of school.
Was a total school of life.
That's right.
Well, we've got to wrap it up here. I'm getting the hand signs. So, San, always great and fun. It's always great and so much fun.
So great. And you know what? I'm so glad that today I had the opportunity for somebody else to tell you what I wanted you to do, so I didn't have to tell you. And now it's Coach Anthony. I don't have
the same automatic no from
Coach
Sandy.
Anthony.
I can take it from Coach Anthony.
But I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. So thanks, San. Thanks, Spence, as always, all the time. And thank you, listeners. We thank you all the time. If you like more of, if you want to hear more of this, please, you can follow us on our Facebook page and like us there. Also want to call out our sponsors, Hierophant Publishing and Events USA. Providers of entertainment and publishers of books in the body, mind, spirit space, without whose support this program would not be possible. So until next time, thank you so much, and we'll see you then. Bye.